it's Clint. Guys, thanks for watching. Today, I'm going to show you another barbell exercise. Today's exercise is a bench over row. Guys, this in my opinion is probably one of the best exercises for bulking up your back other than doing full body weight pull-ups. It's an amazing core exercise. It's fantastic for what they call your rectus spinae muscles, which run down the spine and hold you up nice and straight. It's great for your lats, which are the big muscles that fan out from your lower back up into your arms, which give you that V shape. And different ways of doing it can either target your lats, or you can target more your traps and your rhomboids, which form almost a diamond shape up on the upper back, which get the shoulder blades to retract, elevate, to press. So guys, I'm going to run through basically how it's done. Now again, guys, if you've seen some of my other videos, again, I'm always talking about your neutral spine and your core firing up and the deep stomach muscles. Again, this is very important on this exercise because you're holding quite a heavy load. A matter of fact, a load that's heavy enough to challenge your lats, which is the biggest muscle in your body. It's really big, but at the same time, you've got to be supported and held by your rectus spinae muscles, which are relatively small in comparison to your lats and your rhomboids. So you've got to start this off too light. If you've been doing loads of other back exercises, for example, for instance, a single arm bench row with a dumbbell, which you supported on a bench, you've then developed a lot of power and strength into your lats. But when you go onto your freestanding bench over row, you're not going to have built up a lot of support in those rectus spinae muscles, so you're going to have to start a little bit lower, otherwise you run the risk of hurting yourself. So guys, what we do is, I'm going to show you a bent over row for your lats first, which is going to be a reverse grip, and we're going to hold the elbows pretty close to the body, almost brushing against the body. Now, I don't want to spend too much time explaining and bore you, but basically, the lats connect to the lower part of your back and they fan up. So anything where you're taking the elbows from the outside or down towards your midline is going to be lats, or taking the elbows from the front and putting them down. So when we're taking the elbows down to this point here, which is where we're trying to get it around to, that's going to work your lats. Because your lats are connected down the bottom, if we bring the arms up high and we retract backwards with the elbows high up, that's not really putting the elbows down to your lats, so they're going to be limited in their range of motion. So then we're going to put most of the emphasis on your upper back, your traps and your rhomboids, and your upper traps depending on how you stand. So those will be your two different types of rows. You can either go your narrow row and you'll pull relatively quite low into the navel, the belly button, or you can do a wide row where you row up really wide, pulling into the back and bringing the bar up to more your chest line, still trying to refrain from bringing everything up into your neck. So guys, the way those work is approach your bar. It can either be on the floor, in which case you would deadlift it up. Otherwise, I'll walk up to the bar, place my hands, make sure they're centered. You've got the lines on the bar which give you an idea of where the center of the bar is. We then lift yourself up, core nice and tight, step away. Get your feet in the right position, just wide and hips distance apart, and then start to push your bum back, guys, and drop the chest down, just like you're deadlifting. It's really important, guys. You'll notice my back stays nice and straight. What you don't want to do is arch the back over, so keep it up and straight. Navel drawn in, exhale, drive into the navel, slowly down. Exhale, drive into the navel. You can take it lower if you can, also depends on your range of motion. So that's going to hit more lats, it's going to be more of your stronger position. Then if you want to challenge the more upper back, you would have to probably take a lot of the load off. You're then going to approach the bar. I think normally for my height, I'm about 177. If you're taller, you can take it wider. I'll take my index finger and place it just on the outside of that little line, well, not the center line, there's a little strip just taken out, just out probably, what is it, about a third from the end of the bar. You then grab that, step back again, sit yourself forward. Now guys, I pull the bar higher up to the chest, so now you can see my elbows are going out really wide. I'm still trying to pull back and down, we're keeping the shoulders wide, hold, slowly back down. My navel's drawn in, my spine is neutral, and slowly back up again. Now guys, another thing with the bent over row I see quite a lot of guys will try to load up. They'll bring themselves down, but their rectus spinae muscles is not strong enough to lower them down to a position where you can really get a lot of the back muscles working. So they tend to do more of a shrug, just working on your upper traps. If you want to get big upper traps, that's fine, you can do this. So this is what it looked like. When you see the guy stepping back, or yourself if you may do this, only dropping back a couple of degrees, and then just pulling up into the neck. It's not really a bent over row, you're not really hitting much of your back, you're definitely not hitting your lats. The only thing you're hitting is your upper traps, and most of us are overcompensating with your traps as it is in most things we do. So guys, make sure you get at least 45 degrees. Any lower is even better for hitting more of those lower traps and rhomboids, but again, you've got to be able to handle it And don't just put in a waist belt to handle it, because then you're never going to develop the strength there. Start off light, give it a couple of weeks to build that up. So guys, hope you enjoyed that. Try your bench over row, it's an amazing exercise. If you've got any questions guys, please send me a link. I'll be happy to answer any questions or do any videos for you guys if there's something you wanted to know about. Otherwise, please guys, share my video. I'm sure there's a lot of people who would learn from these, and guys, hope you enjoyed them, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye.